But maybe speak with our law.
We don't have to enjoy ourselves.
Well, I don't feel confident.
We'll do it, let's talk.
Yeah. Everybody use your loud voice.
Okay. Gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order, if you please rise to the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Aldermember Starr,
Here.
Lackey,
Here.
Whitsitt,
Here.
Polson,
Here.
Crabtree,
Here.
Kerrigan, Mayor Varner.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, board members will please remember to speak loudly so everybody in the back can hear you. Welcome to all the visitors. There are a few out there tonight. We always love them to come out and have fun with us. So, I'll move that consent agenda. Is there anything before the consent agenda? If not, I take that. Finance Committee met Tuesday, January 20th. To review the December financial information. That were going on with anomalies noted. We went through the sales tax report. The sales tax was increased 1.45% over the past 12 months over the previous 12 months. That's the fourth consecutive month of the increase. So we welcome that. Hopefully it will continue. We also discussed the fee schedule, as Kathy previously noted. The city went through the internal control findings and information in the audit. The next finance committee meeting will be previous to the next budget workshop. I don't recall the date of that. It will be an abbreviated meeting immediately prior to that. February 23rd. Okay.
That's
February 23rd. February 23rd. All right. That being said, I'll recommend that the I'll move to the motion to approve. Motion to approve the second. All in favor? 6-0. 6-0. Yeah, consent agenda is approved. Next up will be the mayor report. Not very long this time around. I do want to thank the city staff, our police department, and the road crews, and everybody that helped get us through this storm in a fantastic way. It takes a lot of effort on their part. They're out there in the cold, they're out in the snow, when we're coming in our houses. And, we really appreciate all the effort, some of us who put into the job. So we didn't have any power outages in Knoxville.
Nope, just a comms line.
Okay, but anyway, good work on city staff. And I don't know if everybody's paying attention, but we have a lot more community engagement going on within the city Facebook page and other places. That's all due to the fantastic efforts of Leslie Shire, that we're going to meet here in a little bit. She's done a fantastic job, and community engagement is a high priority for this administration. So keep up with the work there. Other than that, I think anything else. We'll move to the Alderman report. Alderman Black.
Okay, so I attended the planning and zoning meeting. Discussed the 8th and Mason project, which is going to be discussed here in a little bit. Planning and zoning recommended no. The 510 East Orchard replat. I received a letter our last meeting. There was a letter sitting here with my name on it from a gentleman who was concerned about his street. Wanted to know what I could do to maybe get his street repaired. Talked to Darren. Darren told me he told me it was on the list to be done for this next year. Okay. I'm not saying this so that everybody can pat me on the back and look at you. I went to the gentleman's house He left no phone number, no email address or anything, so I went to the gentleman's house, very nice man, very, him and his wife, both, very nice people. I told him what I found out. I also expressed to him that he needed to realize that when you're told you're on the list, that doesn't mean it's happening tomorrow. And he was very fine. Like I told him, I did not want him to think that he took the time to write me a letter. I took the time to.
Very good. Alderman Terry.
Well, second, the mayor said, thanks for everybody that helped during the storm. I was grateful the poll wasn't a power poll. Thank you. But thank you guys for coming out. He was right there. Didn't have to sit and pull too long. Thanks to the officers that came out and took care of it. I have no idea what happened to it. I took the family home and went there. But thanks for doing the job and doing a good job. Appreciate it. And that nobody got hurt. Other than that, I don't have any.
Alderman Paulson.
So I received a couple of calls regarding the tree trimming and what I would like to recommend is that maybe we can have some more direction or something put out to tell people about the pickup of the wood process. I think there's some confusion out there and I understood that said that there might be some people vetted. I'm not sure that process is working right. So people just know if they want their wood, they can keep it, but if they don't want it, maybe something to explain how they go about getting rid of it.
We can do that.
Alderman Crabtree, I know this is a little short notice. Do you got anything you want to share?
Thank you for being here. Fast at this point.
Okay. Alderwoman Scott.
I've got something.
Alderman Whitson. Thanks for all the work over the weekend clearing the snow. Apologize for my car being in front of my office. Had to work around it.
Crap about that.
I did receive one complaint through this young man's mother. He's 5 years old, and it wasn't really a complaint. He likes to come in from the backside of the hill. And he looked at his mom and said, "Mom, why do they still have Christmas lights on the water tower? It's Christmas is over."
That's funny.
But addendum to the mayor's report, Alderman Crabtree is new to the board. At the November 10th meeting, I made it clear that hopefully I would, I would find a temporary replacement if I wasn't able to appoint somebody running unopposed, or if there were multiples running, that I would try to find a temporary replacement. I have found that, thanks to Bruce for your recommendation, in Carl Crabtree. Carl's we graduated in the same class. I've known Carl for a long time. I think he's very level-headed and he's a great addition to the board. So thank you, Carl, for stepping up and helping us have equal representation across the board. And thank you for those that took the time to email me and let me know that you wanted equal representation. Okay. Anyway, moving forward, city administrator report. Don.
Okay, for the Parks and Recreation Department, we did have our basketball league was canceled this Saturday because of the weather, so that's been put off to the end of the season. Soccer signups they opened today at noon for ages 3 through 8th grade. We are focusing on the pump repairs this winter for the city pool. There are a few repairs that are needed, and we're hoping to get those completed before this year's fiscal year ends. Park board met last week to discuss their park revenues. And then at their next meeting in just a couple weeks, they're gonna meet again to talk about expenditures for budget preparation. And then again, the reverse raffle is on February 14th. For the wastewater department, normal operations, they did assist this weekend with the street and water department with the city plowing. So they helped with them on Saturday or Sunday. We've been collaborating our wastewater department with Warrensburg's wastewater department to get some improvements from them on our annual reporting process to make some improvements there and update the process that we're currently doing. So that went very successfully. And that's everything for the wastewater department. For finance department, of course, everything is primarily focused on the budget right now. We've been working on a few different additional projects outside of finance. We have the Taco Bell project. I know this isn't finance, but Kathy helps with economic development as well. So we have the Taco Bell project. We met with them last week in person. That the crew that's constructing, this is what they do. They build Taco Bells. And they intend to have our Taco Bell demolished and built in 16 weeks. From the start date of demo. They intend to have the start date and demo started before this month ends. It might fall into I think they're trying to close and get everything ready and demo started but this week. So we'll see, but it isn't going to be an expedited process and we're gonna blink and have a Taco Bell. So be prepared. Let's see. We do have a internal controls training scheduled for city hall staff for March. So we're excited about that. And then we've been working on our street shed numbers since we went out for bid the second time. We've got some new numbers back. For the police department, we had a public or community engagement event at the library this past weekend. So that went well. And then she attended an MML training regarding what's the
Drug training.
Can you say that out loud? I don't remember what the technical term is.
It was just gas station drug trends.
Gas station drug trends. I couldn't remember exactly. Thank you. So that went well. That was in Sedalia, provided by MML, and it's in alignment with the Missouri Chiefs Association. He also attended he's also tonight you'll see the CERT response team agreement on the agenda. So we'll talk more about that when we get to it. We did have a pretty low amount of motorist calls from the winter weather, so we're grateful for that. 610 East Orchard. So the last update I gave to you all was that we were having a community meeting with the residents and the landlord at 610 East Orchard to try to get some communication facilitated between the two. As a result, you know, the city felt very kind of helpless in that scenario. So we collectively decided to make an effort to help those residents who are in kind of a unfortunate state, and we did a day of cleanup there with the residents. So we did, I believe it was 20 dump bed truck hauls of either dumpster trash or tree limbs or something like that hasn't been maintained over the past few years, in an effort just to help those people that were in need of help. So that was very successful. Our street crew and some of our electric crew, they helped with that day of cleanup. So as in regards to communication, everything's going very well with communication. We have Leslie on board. She's implementing very well. I'll talk more about that a little bit further in the agenda. For the electric department, like Colin said, the only real major issue we had during the weekend was a communications pole that was hit. And our police department and electric crew were dispatched out to just ensure that the scene was as safe as possible and get into contact with the communications companies. We are on standby with NQA for winter storm for mutual aid. We've not officially been called out, but we have a team put together and we're currently on standby. So we wanted to, of course, make sure everything was good in Odessa before we send anyone, but right now the entire state's kind of on standby just in case. Another thing that the electric department is working on, one of the projects in the budget was the conversion to contract out conversion work. We've been working with our on-call engineers to, we know we're not going to be able to get the project bid and started and finished in this fiscal year. So unfortunately, we are gonna have to bump it to the next fiscal year, but we've been working with our on-call engineers to make sure we have all the information that they need to be able to put the bid documents together and help us get good pricing for the project. So we're excited about that. Our crew is working to do kind of an inventory of that circuit, but we're planning to convert first the North Loop. And we're happy with the progress that's being made there. There's also a few things that the electric department's assisting with for the rate study, just pulling together some information regarding our load and our system for the electrical engineer. For community development, we currently have 7 single-family homes under contract or under construction and 1 in review. 2 duplexes, the pending application for the Taco Bell demolition, and we started the process for an expansion project with Nerds Hardware. So all of that in January, which is a little out of the norm, but we're happy to see the progress. For HR and city clerk, we our year turned over, so that means new sick time, new vacation time for our employees. W-2s were sent out for all employees. Karen's done a good job of flexing to the federal law changes that have been done this year when it comes to taxation and overtime and things like that. So that's all been squared away. We're working very closely with PayPoint HR on the employee manual and getting new job descriptions for each position. The election packet for April 2026 has been sent to the county. And it was received. You'll also note that Karen made you your handy dandy cheat sheets that you all received tonight, laminated. So you can keep those with you at all times. And then we have our annual health fair scheduled for May 20th. So Karen works very hard on that each year to help each of our employees understand the benefits that are provided to them and to begin their open enrollment process for the year as well. Special events that are coming up, we have Project Grad February 28th at the 4-Way taking donations. We have Snake Saturday 5K March 14th, and then we have Chalk the Walk April 3rd in downtown at 4:30. At the next meeting, you'll hear from the chamber regarding the annual rodeo event. So for Darren, you'll notice Darren is out. He's not feeling well today, but I do have a quick update. So his crew attempted to fix the basin at the water plant. They weren't able to do it themselves, which was not, that's not horrible. We were gonna try to see if we could save money and fix it ourselves first. We weren't able to do that, but we have scheduled some ICO to come out and they will repair it for us next Tuesday. You might have heard of one portion that I've been thinking of this after this winter storm. It's like the untold story of the water department in the winter. But we had I think it was on like Sunday alone or something like that, we had 6 call outs for frozen water meters. So on top of the street/water department taking care of all of the streets in town, they're also on call and responding to every time someone's meter freezes with these frigid temperatures. So just keep them in mind and thank them for their services. Again, snow removal Saturday night and into Sunday morning, early Sunday morning. The wastewater department assisted in plowing, so we appreciate them for that. As soon as it gets warm, it will be pothole season. We'll start filling potholes, the same crew will. And we're doing a little cross training where Kate will be training in the wastewater department in the water department over the next month. One thing that I intended to have with you all tonight was performance measures. I don't have it tonight, but my goal is to have it at the next meeting for our strategic plan. So I'll get those to you as quickly as possible. The other thing I wanted to highlight was that the Doppler events tool. So it's on the back end. It's something that the city gets to utilize. And when we started, it was relatively difficult to get that going and make it make sense for us. They've recently done some pretty significant upgrades to the Doppler system and to the event tool specifically. And I will say that on, Friday night, we were able to successfully use the event tool as it was intended when the fire was in Lake Lafayette. That resulted in the fire department utilizing quite a bit of water from our fire hydrants. So in any system, not just our system, but whenever the fire department uses that much water from a hydrant at one time, it pulls all of the water from the surrounding area to that hydrant. Everything shifts directions and it stirs up the lines, causing groundwater, sediment in the water, things like that. So we did get quite a few calls about discoloration in their water and things like that, so we were able to, we can create a geo circle on a map of Odessa, and then anyone who calls in that area, they get the update that said, in this scenario, due to high water usage because of a fire emergency, there is currently discoloration in the system. But it went really well. I was excited to have it work how it was intended to work. That is a normal occurrence that happens. I did some research on it a little bit this afternoon, and it's just the way that the research I did kind of put it into perspective for me. When the fire department pulls from that hydrant, they can pull up to the quantity of water that that said neighborhood would use in a whole day. They're gonna pull all that water in about 20 or 30 minutes. So it's kind of a shock to the system, and it's relatively normal. So just wanted to share that. As you know, the sidewalk project, we're in contract negotiations, I would hardly call them contract negotiations, but we're finalizing the contract with that excavation and hope to have that to you at our next meeting. And I think that's everything. Oh, and I want to congratulate Nikki and the mayor on their awards, and we'll be at the Chamber Awards banquet on this Wednesday to cheer them on. Very proud of you. So yeah, I think that's everything. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Sean. All right, now is the time for public comments, not to be confused with the public hearing. Okay, are there anyone wants making public comments? There are none. All right. Move on to the public hearing. Public hearing with regard to rezoning RZ-1-2026 8th Street in Mason, R1 single family to R2 two family. We'll start the public hearing at 6:27. Does anybody like to speak regarding this issue? Public hearing. There are none. So we'll close the public hearing at 6:28. There is no old business. We do have some new business. Awesome. All right. First up, we're staff introduction.
You can go first.
Good evening, board. My pleasure to, like Kathy said, we're full staff. Again, we're good. And I'll introduce, we hired Josiah Herman, 2 months ago? Yeah, 2 months ago. He is a SRTC graduate, Southeast Lineman Training Center in Trenton, Georgia, in 24. And then he had experience with Columbia Utility, their electric department for 8 months. And so we're tickled to have Josiah. He's had a lot of experience underground, but he's got a lot to do there. And he's working on he's been really working well in every part of the department. So we're tickled to have him. And then Aaron Whited had I think, 2018,
2008,
was hired on with the city.
November 2018 was hired on here.
Yep, and then, he had started your apprenticeship through IBW, right?
IBEW through JATC.
Right.
In Iowa.
And then so he started his MPUA apprenticeship here and finished his MPUA apprenticeship. And journeyed out in 2022 and then went on to other adventures as operating heavy equipment. So we were real fortunate to get Aaron. It was great to have him the first 5 years I was here. And so I'm tickled to have him back as he's running the line. So
Welcome, Phil.
Yeah.
Welcome.
thank you.
Okay, we have Leslie Dyer. When did you've been here for 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 3 weeks we've had her and we're already beyond happy with everything she's doing. She's amazing. I said, I think she left at the end of her first day and I said, I'm so mad at myself for not advocating for this position, like the day I started. I messed up, but she's doing such a great job. It's been a much needed gap that she's filling and the ability for her to spend her time and dedicate her time to focusing on what are the things that residents need to hear from the city, what's important, how do we communicate it outwardly. I can't say enough. So is there anything you want to say about your credentials? She is the executive director for the chamber currently, so that allows us a lot of cross branding, if you will, between the chamber and the city, which is important. Any
No,
questions?
Excited to join the team. Like Shauna said, I've been with the chamber for almost 3 years, and that has allowed me to build relationships with the important people in Odessa. And I'm excited to build on that through partnering with the city for making Odessa even better than it is. Yeah.
Okay. Now we have the introduction and readings of bill number 2026-03, approving the rezoning of certain property from R1 single family dwelling district to R2 two-family dwelling district. We'll take a motion to approve the first reading.
Make a motion to approve the first reading of bill number 2026-03.
Rezoning,
We'll say the applicant is here if you have any questions.
yes, and we do have the applicant here. If the board had any questions, here to answer them. But I've got a motion. I need a second. All in favor? 6-0, discussion.
Mike mentioned something in his opening statement that P and Z did not approve it.
Correct.
And say, because right here it says they did approve it.
For the first reading.
So what did P and Z, what was it?
They voted yes to deny recommendation, so they did not recommend approval of this rezone. We got a little wonky on our motions at P and Z. We got a little wonky on our motions at P and Z, but they voted,
To deny.
they voted to deny. They did not recommend approval.
So they made a motion to deny it.
Yes.
The majority.
Okay, because right here it says commission approved the rezoning request from R1 to R2. That's
What's that?
Where's this at?
in the agenda packet.
Oh.
Staff recommendation, last sentence says, staff recommends that the planning.
Staff recommended it, but the board did not.
Correct.
The commission did not.
See my discrepancy.
Yep.
Yep.
Alderman Black.
Okay, their main objective was they don't want it to be O2. The citizens in the area they want it to stay on.
They feel it'll be in their best interest to remain it. Oh. Correct.
Now,
Continue.
okay,
You have the floor. sir.
I got the floor, sir. If anybody's here that was, speak up. Yeah, anybody here that was here that, vote or voiced an opinion on this. One of the main opinions was the road going in and water flow and how it would affect all the neighbors and whatnot. So if this stayed R1 and this gentleman built single family homes, you would still have this. But the citizens who, it was voted no because the citizens around it wanted it to stay.
Any other discussion?
Did we talk about this one at a time?
Previously, previously it was proposed R1 to R3. So they reapplied with an application for R1 to R2.
Anything else? All right. Go to the second reading of bill number 2026-03, introduction and reading of bill number 2026-03, approving the rezoning of certain property from R1 single family dwelling district to R2 two-family dwelling district. This is the rezoning of 8th and Mason Street. I will take a motion to approve the second reading.
Make a motion to approve the second reading, bill number 26-03, rezoning R1.
They don't have to be in agreement.
Second? Got a motion and a second. Keep in mind, this vote is to approve.
Okay.
Okay.
The bill is an ordinance. Go ahead and
This bill adds,
So if you voted yes, you're voting to make it.
voting for the.
change the rezoning.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make sure that's very clear.
Yeah.
And this is to be, and you meant this to be approved as an ordinance, correct? Second, this is an ordinance, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
Procedural question.
go ahead.
On second reading, can there still be discussion or discussion over on second reading?
Discussion.
Discussions over. Discussions in between the first and the second reading.
Make sure I understood that. Okay, all right.
Yes.
So let's review. A vote yes would be to approve
We'll
it.
approve.
Please replat, vote no to deny it. That being said,
Rezoning.
roll call.
Okay. Aldermember Placky,
No.
Aldermember Whitsitt,
No.
Polson,
No.
Crabtree,
No,
Harrigan,
No.
Star
No.
is denied. It's denied.
Motion is denied. Moving on to bill number 2026-0. Introduction and readings of bill number 2026-0, approving the replat of Asher Road. All of the streets, subdivision located in the city limits, the city of Odessa, Lafayette County. We make a motion to approve first reading.
I do have the survey here if anyone needs to see it. Bruce, did you see my email?
No.
Okay.
This is for the first reading of bill number 2026-04. Motion to the second, all in favor? 6-0.
Okay. At the planning and zoning meeting. And looking at.
Like you got, these are the real policies.
it makes one of the lots. I'm gonna go with pretty close to the smallest you can get. If I'm correct. That was their main concern.
I get some crayons.
Uh,
So one,
Members of the planning and zoning committee, had their concerns on replanting it. Because the one lot would become so small, and then discussion was what was put on it. They were instructed. What is going to be put on it is not planning and zoning's purpose. The purpose was, did it fit the criteria? Which it did. It did, and that is, they. Reggie Lee, maybe, if that's the way to put it.
The lot size criteria. Oh.
Does it fit the criteria?
I can speak to that if I
Go
would.
ahead,
Okay. So we have a chart in our code of ordinances that tells you the dimensions and the lot area of each lot for residential. And then we have separate categories for each lot size. So we have R1A, R1B, R1C, R1D, and R1E. The minimum lot size you can have is 8,400 square feet with a frontage width of 70 feet. So you can see on here, lot 1 is 70 feet. It also has, setback requirements on here, 25 feet, et cetera, et cetera. But 8,400 square feet is the smallest it can be. On the survey, you can see, and Bruce, I just want to make sure you notice it, but the depth of the lot, it's 70 across. There's 110 feet, and then does a little jog over and back down like another 100 and some feet. So that lot, it says on the survey that the square foot of lot 1 is 14,000 some odd square feet, and the minimum is 8,400. So it meets the minimum. It's just long and skinny.
Then you got, so if you were to build on it, you got 10-foot setbacks on either side. And you've got a 50-foot wide house.
Was the discussions, but.
It meets the criteria.
Criteria.
Correct, it meets the criteria.
Any other discussion?
What about the garage that's not on the property? It's there.
So the 70-foot line is just to the side of that garage. So in your packet, you can see the Lafayette County GIS, and there's a blue line that splits the property in half, not on the one in front of you, but it splits the property in half.
Existing garage that's there,
Not that one attached to the
one
house.
is that,
Oh, I mean, it would be a part of the lot sold.
but it's not. It's 10 feet off the lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a
I-
land problem. I don't know that we can
Yeah.
control that or do anything about it.
The line goes through the garage?
Goes through the side of the garage.
That's
Yes,
a
You've got
log
I don't know, 3 feet, 4 feet of the garage, it's not on even the current property.
We have the property owners speak.
I don't know if they're here.
I don't know what you do with that, and that may be totally separate from the rezoning.
Is that separate from the?
Property is probably.
But it's existing
Yeah,
before
okay.
that
Yeah.
lot did not change.
Yeah, so the, I guess that initial lot was
It's
3
the
lots
middle
initially,
one that's changing.
a long time ago. My parents had lived there for about 32 years and my dad passed away. And so I got the house just about a year ago. Next to the house, there was just a big, pretty area. I thought about either just selling my dad's, which now I've acquired, selling it off and building next to it, just a new small home. And so as far as the garage, it's an old garage, it's been there, and they just say grandfather in it, so just. I
Who
think
owns
they
it
know,
platted right here?
what's that?
On 42 homes, the unplatted garage does encroach on, you know, it's like.
I don't know. It was there from when we bought it.
Says unplatted here, there's clearly a house there, it's clearly platted.
It's not saying that it's not saying it's vacant, saying it's unplatted. It's two different things.
That's supposed to be on Homer Allenball place, isn't it?
Mm.
Does anybody know that?
Is it?
Allenball?
How about, look like it's on 1 and 2, their name is.
Yeah, that was the Allen Boss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a gardener. I remember this.
yeah. So they built that on 2 lots. And then there was a 3rd lot, I guess, and then now it's all one. So just was trying to split it off.
Let me see.
Oh, you have more questions?
No, I don't have Bill about it.
Are you-
People,
Jeff, are you able to speak to that in any way?
it's a small lot, but it meets the minimum criteria.
It meant, yeah,
So,
it meets the criteria.
Yeah, like,
As they were instructed, it's not their. To say what would or wouldn't get built.
correct.
It's just, does it meet the criteria?
So did Irwin produce this?
Yes.
And this is from the county GIS.
Yes, and there is a discrepancy between the county GIS property line and the surveyor's property line. But we have been told by the county that the county's GIS line is not, you cannot base things off of it. It is an estimate. It's not 100% accurate. So the survey itself would be more accurate than the county's line, because on the county's website, that garage is 100% on his property.
You want the county's website.
But you can also see that on the county's, is there a fence behind the shed?
So there's a fence, so everything looks like it's just a square off, but I guess there's a little jog there that takes place, so.
So if there's a problem splitting the property, if there's a problem with it, with that side of the property line splitting the garage, it's there now anyway.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure if that discussion should dictate anything about the rezoning.
Replat, but
Or
yes.
replat. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that the outside perimeter lines are not being proposed any change. It's the middle line that's proposing that the replat is proposing. So nothing in the replat is adjusting the outskirts property lines.
Does the proposed line give you the 10-foot set off of the existing garage in the front? You've gotta have it set off
In the
of the
front?
existing house.
Yeah.
Yes, the existing house meets setbacks.
Further discussion?
Bruce, any more thoughts? Carl, any new thoughts? Any different perspectives?
No. That's the start.
Maybe let them decide if they want to do it or not. All right. Then we'll move to the second reading. Introduction. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes,
Introduction and reading of bill number 2026-04, approving the plan of action notice. All of lots 3 and 4, the Allen Hall subdivision, located within the city of Odessa, Lafayette County, Missouri. Take a motion to include the second reading as an ordinance.
I'll make a motion to approve. The reading of bill number 2026-04, replat of Asher Meadows lots 3. As an.
I'll second.
And approve.
Motion in a second.
Did you,
Yes, they did.
you did state the ordinance?
You did.
Okay, I'm sorry, I cannot hear.
Okay.
Anybody? And you
Yeah, roll call.
seconded?
I second.
Okay, thank you very much. Alderman Whitsit,
Yes.
Polson,
Yes.
Crabtree,
Yes.
Kerrigan,
Yeah.
Star,
Yes.
Flaherty.
Yes.
Motion carried, given ordinance number 3168.
Next up, proposed resolution number 2026-05, authorizing the mayor to execute the low income home energy assistance program. supplier agreement with the City of Odessa Power and Light and the Missouri Department of Social Services status support division. I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-05, Missouri Department of Social Services.
Like he.
Second. Second and all. Okay, it has been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 2026-05. Is there any discussion? Who can talk to us about this?
He's gonna do what he does.
This a provider, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so people are able to access the funds because they receive services from our system. So,
Correct.
in a nutshell.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. We had this agreement before. We've been working with LIHEAP. I know that we started it about at the time that I started. So we've had it for around the last 5 years for sure that I know of. But yes, it's an assistance program. People can apply through Missouri Valley. Missouri Valley is the one that facilitates it, and they'll do all the vetting and all of that stuff. Missouri Valley will tell us each month who's eligible to receive the funds. They'll send us over the pledges, and then we can apply those dollars directly to those people's accounts. And it can be anywhere up to $318 a month. Depends on each scenario.
And from working with it when I worked with family services, it's only a certain amount of funds are available each year based
Yep.
on their funding. They never have enough money to provide the needs for everybody, and so people apply based on the qualification that, like she said, Missouri Valley, that's all of that, so. Basically, it was just use of that.
This allows us to accept those funds.
Correct.
Further discussion? Okay, seeing no further discussion, let's vote. All in favor? 6-0, resolution carries. All right. Next up, proposed resolution number 2026-06, authorizing the mayor and the chief of police to execute a memorandum of understanding with the city of Higginsville, Missouri, for the establishment of a multi-jurisdictional law enforcement quick response team. I'll take a motion to approve. Move to approve resolution number 2026-06, authorizing mayor and chief of police to execute a memorandum of understanding with the city of Higginsville. Second.
No, thank you, Pat.
Alderwoman.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been here for how long? Alderwoman Star seconds, so.
But if you want Carl to do it, that's fine.
No, that's not even what I'm supposed to be saying and doing.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 2026-06. Is there any discussion?
Chief, what did you tell us about?
I have nothing more to add other than my board action report, but the goal of the QMP is to an immediate life preservation model, right? Lafayette County's been without a SWAT team for a few years now, and I laid out some of the reasons why in my board action report. But our jurisdictions see the need. Our business is dangerous. We wear body armor and firearms to work. It's a dangerous business. And the whole goal is to protect, life. And the goal of the QRT is not a SWAT team. We're not proposing that, but we feel that a quick response to a threat can help preserve life. And this would open up the ability for our two agencies to cross-train and share resources. Just like Odessa, Higginsville has limited resources as well. So being able to pool those resources together can bring this team together. I think ultimately, as we move forward with this QRT, you know, the development of an actual SWAT style unit that we would partner with other Lafayette County agencies, including the Sheriff's Department, will develop. Higginsville and myself, we don't see that for the next, you know, 3-4 years. And we didn't feel that we could wait for that to develop. So that's why I'm proposing, and Higginsville are proposing this QRP.
I'm curious, can you give an example of what might that be used for or called
Sure.
into effect?
Sure. Just here recently, within the last month, my officers responded to an armed subject who had threatened a relative of his with a firearm and threatened himself. And you know, it would have taken the closest SWAT team is the Missouri State Highway Patrol out of Lee Summit, and it would have taken them 3 to 4 hours to mobilize. And so myself and other officers responded to that. We didn't pull in other jurisdictions while we responded to that. We were safely able to de-escalate that situation, and so it ended safely. But I have other examples from the past few years, and Higginsville has had examples of very dangerous situations, mostly involving immediate threat of life, that specialized training and cross-training amongst organizations are intended to save life. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Do you ever see the need to be able to maybe prohibit a member of their force from participating with the team? And if so, is that ability included in here?
I guess I wouldn't characterize it as prohibit, but there will be a vetting process. I mean, there's going to be standards and not only physical standards, marksmanship standards, things that, you know, the officers that are assigned, you know, as a part of a QRT will have to uphold. And then we need to train together with that. So I wouldn't necessarily call it, you know, all of my staff have the capability of being able to serve on this, but the goal is to give, with limited resources, specialized training, specialized equipment, to the extent we can, and then cross-train with the other organization, Higginsville, in order to save lives here and save lives there.
So it's more than a mutual aid thing, it's a targeted training for discipline group.
Correct. It would be for mutual aid assistance too. If Higginsville called us, we would be there to assist.
Yeah, but I mean, it just wouldn't be like whoever's on duty comes over.
So it actually would be, so the members of a part of that team, we would, you know, the whole goal is immediate threat. Well, if you're waiting to mobilize a team that maybe is off duty, that kind of minimizes the effect of an immediate response. We would hope that our on duty, and we would mix the officers that are assigned to this as far as their shift coverage, to be able to provide an on duty uniformed officer to a scene in Higginsville, or Higginsville would provide an on duty uniformed officer to a scene of ours. The key being, we've already cross-trained, we've already supplied those particular officers with the tools they need to de-escalate a very serious threat. Yes.
Further discussion? Thank you.
Sure.
All right, no further discussion regarding 2026-06, as was 2026-06. Take a motion to approve. Move to approve resolution number 2026-06, authorizing mayor and chief of police to execute memorandum of understanding.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, yeah, it's already have a motion in a second. We just need to vote. Right? Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. So, all in favor? 6-0. Resolution carried. All right. Introduce what we can knock off.
Yes.
Discussion on the laws. So here, take the wood shot.
Okay, we're going solo tonight since Darren is out, but had lots of conversations about water supply reliability, and that's included in our 2025 to 2030 strategic plan. In this plan, we have the problem statement. The city's water system lacks a redundant source, posing a risk to supply reliability, though the issue remains largely unnoticed by the public compared to other infrastructure concerns. Our problem with the water department is it's at the age where it's like the pool. It's not there anymore, but it's like the pool where it's at that point in its life cycle that we need to invest in the pool. The water plant is the same thing. We're at the point in the water plant's life cycle that we need to invest in the plant. We also need to invest in the distribution system. There's numerous lines that we have that need infrastructure improvements, line upsizes as we continue to grow and continue to grow. We foresee that climb happening. Well, we're gonna have to be able to keep up with that growth as it comes. And then lastly, the most important part of the problem statement is the secondary water source. So as you all know, we have our waters collected in the aquifer that runs underneath the Missouri River. We have 2 wells in Wellington, just off the river. We've conducted a grant, we've applied for a grant and completed it to do test drilling to see if we can relocate those lines further south out of the floodplain area. So the problem is that the wells are in the Missouri floodplain, and when it does rain, like it did in 2019, it creates a very risky situation for our city's water supply. And since we only have one water supply, that is a concern to the city of Odessa. So we need to find a solution. We need to figure out what our solution is. There's a few different avenues we can go. The problem is we need to make that decision and decide which direction we're going, and we need to go there. So, a little difficult to come up with action items when we don't know the decision that we're wanting to go. So these are action items that still, I think, help us get to the point of let's make a decision and let's achieve it. So create an ERP for water supply disruption. So that's an emergency response plan. We have an emergency response plan for the water department. Don't get me wrong, we're required to for the state. But I think what this is a little bit, let's take it a little bit a step further beyond what is the minimum requirement of the state for our water system, and let's make a more tangible, more applicable emergency response plan, and let's practice it. Let's do scenarios, do role play. What do we do in this scenario? Like all hands on deck. What do we do? Answer the question now, kind of training type of situation for our water team and all of our city departments in reality, because like, when something happens in one department, it happens to every department. We all chip in and we're all hands on deck. So we need to be prepared if the worst case scenario happens. Conduct a feasibility study and cost analysis for a secondary source. There's multiple options that we have for a secondary source. All of them cost a lot of money. So we need to determine what is the most cost efficient, what is the most realistic for the city of Odessa. And we need to make that decision relatively soon. Create a 10-year capital improvement plan. We've seen this in other areas, other utility areas. This helps us quite a bit. No, we don't have a forecasting plan right now. We have a 5-year CIP. We do not have a 10-year. Having an additional 5 years out from what we have now it will help us with forecasting financially, and it'll help us plan for what's yet to come. Next one, utilize asset management software to monitor infrastructure conditions and prioritize improvements. So this is another thing that if we end up with an asset management software, it's going to be for across the board for our public works departments, but it's something that we're lacking now. We need to know that every single investment in our infrastructure that we have, we need to know the day that it's beyond its useful life, and so we can then plan for those things. We can put them into the 10-year CIP and know that in 2037, 38 fiscal year, this is what we need to achieve. Obviously, those things change, but having the plan helps you achieve what you need to and not lose track of assets. That's definitely an area that we're lacking. And then, increase the collector well resiliency. So in kind of a broad statement here, a broad action item. Because there are multiple different things that we can do and on different scales, but we need to be making those steps to increase the resiliency at the well location. So we have our 2 wells, there's electrical infrastructure that could be updated. We could create some type of backup electrical system, whether that's generators or something else. We've looked into generators, there's question marks if that would actually work because of the whole flood component of the issue, but where there's a will, there's a way. We need to look into what those options are and start executing them and having them planned out. But in the case of an emergency, in the case that we need to use ERP, we want to reduce the chances of those happening. We want to be able to have a flood and still feel that we're safe and our residents' water supply is safe, so.
Who's nice and our, is that everything?
Evergy. Okay, and then some measures that we have here to see how our progress is going. The number of emergency water drills or exercises conducted annually. So this is related to that ERP again. But how many times have we practiced the ERP and all of our staff are familiar and know it like the back of their hand? Next item or next measure on here, percentage of water staff trained on emergency response plan protocols annually. And the percentage of the system mapped and asset assessed for condition. So this goes back to the asset management. We need to get, the goal is to have 100% of our assets accounted for and we know what their life cycle is. We don't have that today, so some is more than we have today. So that's what we have with the water department or with the water performance area, performance priority area. What I will say with water, like I said, this was a tough performing or priority area to create the action items for because we don't have a plan this time. But these action items and these measurables are going to help us ensure that we get a plan. We know what we're doing beyond 2030. That was our main focus with this priority area was we don't have a decision today. If we had a decision today, this would look completely different. But because we don't, what are the things that we need to do to become more resilient and to make those steps to achieving the direction that we want the future of our water system to go. Any questions?
Go ahead.
I don't wanna sound like a dick, but. I'm the longest sitting person on this board. This was brought up 5 or 6 years ago. Why is it that we're just now looking for this plan? Why didn't we start this 5 years ago?
That's a good question.
Okay, good.
I don't have a good answer for it. I don't have a good answer for that.
Okay,
I would say the biggest problem is that
we still have no money.
we still have no money. There is no cheap avenue to accomplish this.
Yeah.
The cheap avenue to accomplish this is to sell the system. So it's a big decision, a big deal, and we can't just have conversations about it. We've had a lot of conversations. We need science and engineering and numbers to back up this incredibly large decision or incredibly large investment that's needed in our water infrastructure.
Yeah, but it's just like cycle project. We've waited so long, it's gonna cost us 5 times as much now.
It still would have been a large investment
Yeah,
then too.
Exactly.
Max inevitable.
I just, there. I mean, it's something that we've talked about. It's not
I
like,
think the challenge with that is that it's not. Why haven't we got the trees trimmed this year yet? It's well beyond that level of a decision that needs to be made. It's not something that can be made on one meeting. One Board of Aldermen meeting. It's something that it takes more than a conversation to make this decision.
We're not concerned though with the quantity, we've got plenty of water.
Oh, yes, we have plenty of water. The aquifer that we get our water from is one of the largest in the country. There's no concerns of how much water. It's the service interruption side of it. We can get our waters, as long as nothing goes wrong. It's when something goes wrong and stops the ability for the water to get to us. Which is either at the well or it could even be at the pump.
We were to drill another well just at its house.
Now,
Is that be more out of the floodplain?
so we tried to do that. We got a grant and that was a little bit of the setback too, whenever the transition kind of between Nikki and myself. Whenever we had that transition, we had grant funding to have a study completed to see and have the test drilling done. I think we did 6 different drills along the road that leads to the wells to see if the aquifer continues south. It's not, so that grant money eliminated that possibility for us, which that was helpful to know
Good to
that.
know, good information.
The gentleman that wrote me the letter. Got his street. One of the things that Darren told me, the reason his street is in the condition that it is in. Is it has, water things in town.
Leave that.
Which is constantly breaking and constantly being bad.
There's a few streets like that. Nature, water, all of that.
It's not cheap to invest in water infrastructure.
So the hard decision is, do you take the money we have and fix and repair, upgrade some of our systems, which we know we need.
The money that we have enough to fix like a mile.
Yeah, which won't be enough, but it's an attempt. Or do you try to take that money to eliminate your single point failure, which is they get flooded, we have a single point failure. So it's a catch 22. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Which one do you choose? Well, the voters would probably say, I want to stop seeing dirty water, but if we don't have water at all, it might say something different. I don't know, it's hard to say.
My point with the action items that we have is that I do strongly believe that the accomplishing some of the things that we have puts us in a better position. But I also recognize, I couldn't put action items on here that only align with connecting to the rural water district or only align with connecting to City of Independence, because we haven't made that decision yet. But I do think that the action items that are on here will help us to make that decision. And we need to make that's not a 2030 decision to make, that's as soon as possible, as soon as we have enough information, decision.
So what's in the plan right now to help make that decision?
I think we need to get engineering completed. Have it looked at from someone besides internal.
We have that study planned already.
No, it's in here as an action item, but it's not funded. If we
Part of
have,
the budget discussion.
if we have it in the CIP right now, assuming all the stars align, that we can afford to.
Okay.
much like your budget at home, your wishes normally exceed your income source.
Yep.
So our CIP is here's what we really need to happen.
Yep.
But we've got enough avenues to that, so
Okay.
some things will be prioritized by you guys. The term.
For that, this-
Now, we've got a lot of big discussions to have.
Anything else? Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
All right, our next scheduled meetings, plural, February 9th, the budget workshop, like tonight, 1:30, followed by a regular session, 6 o'clock. That was the time for the old, plus new items for the agenda, such requests. I'd like us to discuss the metered but unbilled utility usage that the city has, and primarily our ECA energy cost adjustment ordinance and the way that we calculate our ECA adjustment on our utility. Is there any input from anybody else? Deb, you got anything to add to that?
We're in the middle of a rate study right now. And the ECA is one of the topics that is being included here, and what do we do with this, the rate study, so. Once we get that information back, we can have more intelligent conversations than I can have right now about it.
I'd like to add that it's important that the Board of Aldermen understand how the calculation is made, because it's not a simple calculation.
I'll just add to Kathy, I recognize where we're at with the rate study. But we can talk about what it is today, what we know today about how it's calculated, so that when the rate study comes out, we can then already be at that level of, now it said this, what alterations, if it are we going to make? Because we'll understand what the ECA is. So I think we should have.
I think
that
EPA
discussion.
101 is what you're
Yeah.
asking.
What is it, what goes into it,
First of all, what does it stand?
Energy cost
cost adjustment. So,
when the wholesale price of what our bill price from our wholesaler exceeds 0.0802, we increase the billing to our customer. I can give you a copy of the ordinance. We do a lot of other things besides what our ordinance actually receives in calculating what our ECA is. Right or wrong, there's more involved in the calculation than the way the ordinance actually reads. So we just need to understand the way the calculation works, the way it reads, so that when we get our rate adjustment, we can decide what we're going to do with it. Okay. You made the motion. Second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, take the vote on the motion. Favor? It's a 6-0. Put it on the agenda. Okay. Closed session coming up.
I make a motion to move to closed session pursuant to